Hello students, welcome back once again to this video. Chapter 7, Human Settlements. So now students, we will be going to discuss urbanization in India and Brazil. Okay, in this video we will be discussing the urbanization in India and Brazil. So first we go on with urbanization in India. The picture shows you over here the urban area in India. You can see the cement and concrete building and see the skyscrapers. Definitely it's understood looking at this picture that it is an urban area. Let's understand now what is urbanization. What is urbanization? Normally, the level of urbanization is measured in terms of percentage of urban people or urban population residing in urban areas to the total population of the country. Did you get it, students? What is urbanization? Urbanization means the level of urbanization is measured in terms of percentage of urban population to the total population. Now, how is it being calculated? Okay, let's see how is it being calculated. The total people of living in urban area upon the total population of the country. What is that? The total people living in urban areas and upon the total population of the country into 100. Okay, so it is been measured in terms of percentage. Okay, in terms of percentage. Urbanization is measured in terms of percentage. So let's go ahead with the explanation. Now, this graph is been given in your textbook also. You can see this picture, it's a textual image. Now, this is an urban population. Okay, this graph is an urban population and you can see very well urban population from the year, that is India trend of urbanization from the year 1961 to 2011. Okay, from 1961 to 2011, and we have the percentage of urban population. Okay, how much the percentage of urban population. So you have that 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, that is the percentage. So what did you notice from this graph? Yes, very good. That there is a steady increase in the growth of population. There is a steady increase. Now, how do you analyze this steady increase? Okay, students, I'll just explain to you about this. Now, you have in the year, like in 1961 you have 18%, in 1971 you have 18.2%, in 1981 you have 23.3%, in 1991 you have 25.7%, in 2001 you have 27.8%, and in 2011 you have 31.2%. Okay, this is your percentage. Now, how do you say that I mean, looking at this itself, you can come to know that there is a steady increase in the population. But how to analyze that thing? Okay, how much is the difference? So for that, what you have to do is that you have in 1971 18.2. So that 18.2 will be minus from the year that is 1961, you have 18%. So 18.2 minus 18, you get 0.2. I have done over there, it is 0.2. Okay, same way you go with from the year 1981, that is 23.3 minus 18.2, you get 5.1. From 27.7 minus 23.3, you get 2.4%. From 27.8, you minus 25.7, you get 2.1%. And from 31.2, you minus 27.8, you get 3.4%. So this goes on. So once we have learned how to calculate the growth population, now listen here students very much, I have termed growth. Okay, so the growth population, that is from 82.2 you minus 18, so you get 0.2. So once you have done all this, it becomes easier to identify in which decade is the growth rate higher. Okay, in which decade you find the growth rate higher. Yes, you find the growth rate higher in the year 19, from the year 1971 to 1981. Okay, from the year between 1971. To have a safer side, always you need to write both the sides. Okay, because the exact thing is not given, so it is better to be in a safer side by writing 1971 to 1981. Okay, that is 5.1%. 5.1%. Now, what we notice from here is that from 1961 to 1971, there is a very slow growth rate. There is a very slow growth rate of population. It's hardly any growth, you can say, but steadily it increases. The height of the growth rate is in the year 1971 to 1981 is 5.1%. Okay, so what could be the reason for that? To the growth rate, there is a increase in growth rate. Okay, can you give me a reason for that? Yes, the reason may be like industrialization, the growth of industrialization was there, development was there, etc. You find many reasons, etc. Okay, here make it a point, though the growth rate decreases. Okay, now can you see further? Okay, if you move on further, you find you will find from 5.1 it decreases to 2.4, then to 2.1. So what happens is that though the growth rate decreases after 1981, but urban population, okay, urban population did not decrease. There is urbanization. Okay, so the urban population, the growth rate is decreased, but the urban population did not decrease. The urban population is greater, or you can say higher, in the year 2011. Okay, that is 31.2, but the growth rate is less. Growth rate is less compared to 1971. It is 5.1. The growth rate over here is 3.4. Now, how that has been done? Like it is in totality. Okay, you calculate in totality. So, do you feel over here? Do you feel that the urban population of India is higher, as it is 31.2? Okay, as it is 31.2, what do you feel, that it is higher, we have increased? No, my dear children, because if you calculate this by subtracting, we are calculating by percentage. Remember, percentage means 100. Okay, so if you subtract this by I mean the 31.2 by 100, okay, the answer will be 68.8. okay, 100 minus 31.2, you get 68.8. Now what is that? the 68.8% of the people are still residing in the rural areas. Are you getting it? They are still residing, so it is a very high percent, okay? So they are still residing in the rural areas. So you can't say that we are completely urbanized. Are you getting it? So now let us summarize. I hope you have understood till here very clearly. Okay, so let's get some summary of urbanization in urbanization in India. More urbanization is in southern India than northern India. Okay, more urbanization is in southern India than in northern India. Now, Goa is the most urbanized state with 62% population living in urban areas. You can get it in fill in the blanks also, students. So, Goa is the most urbanized state with 62% population living in urban areas. Then you have Delhi is more than 80% urban, okay. Then you have Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Gujarat are well urbanized southern states, okay. So, they are a little bit well urbanized southern states, but you have Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Bihar and Rajasthan have low level of urbanization. That is, now you just need to remember urban areas are southern states and less level of urbanization is in the northern states. Okay. So, till here I think you have understood. So, now let's discuss about the urbanization in Brazil. Okay, let's discuss the urbanization in Brazil. You are looking out for one of the 7 wonders in the world, that is the statue of the Christ the Redeemer, overlooking the entire country of Brazil, situated at the coast of Rio de Janeiro. Okay, so we are going to study about the urbanization in Brazil. Observe this graph, which is you have data given in your textbook. So, after drawing that data to a graph, you will see this type of picture, this type of graph will be getting. So, observe this graph from the year 1960 to 2010. Okay. To calculate the growth of urban population from 1960 to 1970, okay, you need to minus the thing that, as you have already learnt earlier also, you need to minus from 56.8%, you need to minus 47.1. So, you get a difference of 9.7, same as goes with the others, that is 66 minus 56.8, you get 9.2, from 74.6 minus 66, you get 8.6, from 81.5 you minus 74.6, you get 6.9, and from 86.6 minus 81.5 you get 3.1. Okay. So, from this figure we come to know that the urban population is maximum between the decade 1960 to 1970, that is 9.7%. Okay, that but it reduces further, it goes on reducing. Can you see over there? The percentage goes on reducing further. The least of growth is between the decade 2000 to 2010, but that doesn't mean that urban population is decreased, as I told you earlier. No, the growth rate is reduced. Okay. Now, the reason is that we are talking, or we are taking or considering with regards to the total population. Okay, we are taking in consideration with regards to the total population as compared to India. Now we are comparing it with India. So, as compared to India, students, it was, I mean, in the year 1960, we are talking about 1960 in the previous graph which we have seen. 1960 India was 18%. Okay, but Brazil over here in 1960 is around 47.1. Okay, so from the beginning itself the growth rate is high in Brazil. Okay, and in 2010 it is almost 84.6. Okay, the growth rate is 84.6. Now, as I said, the difference of as we calculated in the graph of India, that is 100 minus 84.6, the difference is just 15.41. okay, 15.41. Now again we'll compare Brazil with India. So for in the year 2010, the difference was for India is 31.2. okay, 31.2. Here it is 84.6, and the difference is 68.8% for India. The difference is 68.8. okay, and here in Brazil it is just 15.41. okay, students. So there is a vast difference. okay, most of the people in India are still residing in the rural areas, but in Brazil only 51.41% of the people are residing in rural areas. So Brazil is more in urban population. okay, comparatively to India, Brazil is more in urban population. Now as we will go ahead to understand the urbanization in Brazil. okay, urbanization in Brazil, one of the few developing countries in the world that is highly urbanized. okay, Brazil is one of the few developing countries in the world which is highly urbanized. This has led to rapid economic growth. okay, today's total 80% of the population live in urban areas in Brazil. Urbanization is mainly in south and southeast Brazil. okay, you'll find, because in the north you remember, and in the central part of Brazil we have the rainforest. okay, Amazon for rainforest, and there you have the drought quadrilateral. That is why urbanization is mainly in south and southeast Brazil. Then Sao Paulo is the major metropolitan industrial area. Looking at this growth, the government is promoting. Now as I said, the urbanization is only in south and southeast Brazil. So the government is promoting what you say, the policy. okay, go west policy, so that people can connect more over there, and Brazil may be getting 100% of urbanization. So the government is promoting go west policy. okay, and now students, can you tell what the Indian government is promoting? Is the Indian government promoting any policy in India? Yes, even the Indian government promotes the policy, that is make in India, or you can say things made in India. Getting it? So we have made in India policy. Now what do you mean by go west policy? We'll just understand that concept. What is the go west policy? Looking at the rapid growth of urbanization and industrialization in the south and southeast area of Brazil, the government is promoting the go west policy. Now, what is that? This will reduce pressure on a few areas where the population is concentrated, and it will also reduce regional imbalance in the country. Next is urbanization in Brazil. We'll see which area is urbanized. More urbanization is in the coastal areas, that is in central Brazil. Okay, Sao Paulo, Goiás, Minas Gerais have more population living in urban areas. Amazon basin and Brazilian island have less urbanization. Manaus is a port on the confluence of river Amazon and river Negro, and hence has high urbanization. Remember in chapter 3, river drainage system, river Amazon and river Negro meets at Manaus. That is why here the urbanization is high. Okay, students, I hope you have understood the urbanization in India and Brazil. Thank you, students.